Today's episode is brought to you by Raycon.
That was awful.
That was terrible.
No, but if you go to buyraycon.com/rogue, you can get 15% off and it'll sound great in your earbuds.
You get to hear that, but not us doing it.
Can you believe it's been nearly 3 years to the day since you first gave us our introduction to whiskey?
I can't actually. I was such a young
pup, yeah. We have Daniel Whittington,
Sir.
the Vice Chancellor and co-founder of the Whiskey Marketing School at Wizard Academy. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
It is my pleasure.
You look so very different. I look so very different. Yet here we are 3 years later, and you've opened your own distillery.
Yeah.
Tell us about this
That
place.
sort of caught us all off guard.
Yeah.
So we were shooting video after video after video. We started shooting Saturday episodes with Whiskey Tribe, and the community just grew and grew and grew, and we eventually decided, hey, we should maybe make some money off of this.
Now, when you made that decision, did you quite grasp how long-term a commitment this was gonna be?
No, we just thought like, hey, Brushwood does that Patreon thing. Like, we should check into it. And, or like, hey, the Patreon thing's real. And so Rex was like, hey, we're gonna do Patreon. We're gonna pitch everybody on how to get involved in tiers and support. But we figured we're gonna get a couple of grand. It'll pay for like
You guys
video
did
editing.
not sound like you were aiming for a couple of
Yeah,
grand. If
no.
I'm not mistaken, the phrase "we're going to build a whiskey castle" was spoken at some point.
That was all Rex. Rex was like, look, we need to have like incremental things we can do.
Right.
And then we need to have a goal, and then we need to have the dream.
Right.
And so the dream was a whiskey castle.
Like in one day, you went from 0 pledges to like $20,000 a month?
Yeah, I think we hit like 12 to 14 in the first week, and then within a month it was capped out. We basically sold out every tier, and
So-
we've stayed there now for like 3 years. We've sold out every tier.
And what you have now is, I think it's conservatively accurate for me to say, one of the most passionate whiskey communities on the entire planet.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Facebook group alone is over 30,000 people. The YouTube channels between the two of them are at 500,000, which is for
Wait,
us.
hold on, no.
For
I know
us-
you don't want to brag,
For
but
us, a really big deal, unlike Brushwood.
I watched you guys overtake the #1 spot in all of whiskey on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I saw the horror on your faces when you realized that the second channel was going to take #2.
Yeah. They were like, oh no, what do we do? So yeah, it's small potatoes in YouTube world, but it's big in whiskey world.
Well, and
right?
let's speak to that. You guys have really injected a very specific type of culture into whiskey appreciation.
Yeah, the problem was we realized that anytime you're getting into anything new, I would assume magic is like this too, right? But or really anything is one of your worst fears is looking stupid and not belonging, right? And being known as an outsider, getting spotted. And we try to create a community where being a new person was welcome, and that the people who had been in it for a long time looked at that as an opportunity to teach and guide and help, as opposed to, oh, you're obviously not one of us.
Yeah,
right?
correct.
And so, because whiskey was growing at such an astronomical pace these days, and whiskey consumption was growing, and craft distilling was growing, there was this huge desire for people to get involved and interested, but who didn't want to feel stupid. And we created that world, and they all came. If you build that, it's like Feel the Dream style.
The parallels are so insane because I remember saying that I wanted Scam Nation to be a gateway drug for young magicians. I wanted it to be the thing they did a little bit of that eventually made them fall in love with the art. And I feel like you're doing the same thing for whiskey, which brings us to this magnificent building.
We realized pretty quickly we need to get these guys involved in something bigger. And so we said, what if our distillery wasn't just somewhere where we did interesting things, but what if it was a place where our people got to decide what happened?
Right, and so this is where you came up with the moniker of the world's first crowdfunded distillery.
Or crowdsourced.
Crowdsourced,
Yeah,
because
because
it's
there
not
have
just
been
the
other
money.
distilleries who raised money
That's
from
right.
like Kickstarter and
but,
stuff.
But every decision,
Yes.
everybody in the tribe has a hand in making.
They've decided what grain we use, how we ferment it, what yeast we use, how we distill it, what barrels we put it into, how old we let it get, everything.
So as I understand it, whiskey's the kind of thing that you have to start and then wait 5 to 10 to 12 to 24 years before you finally get to open. How does one make money functionally? Okay, can we go inside? Can you show me this?
Let's go into the tasting room first.
all right.
Yeah,
There
and
you
I'll
go.
show
All
you.
right.
So we built the tasting room. So we know we want to invite people here, and all the people who help making the decisions are going to come here and drink and their names are on the wall, by the way, and on the bar, and this whole place we built as sort of a homecoming for people.
But
right?
you've had to like cap the number of people you can
because we ran out of wall space, we ran out of whiskey to give, we ran out of bar space, so it's been sold out now for 3 years.
Wow.
But we have to serve them something.
Right, okay, because in my mind, I know the whiskey's made is that you have the beer that does the distilling and then it just sits in a barrel for a decade or so. Like, that seems like that would take too much time.
So here's the good news. The good news is, as long as it ages in oak, there's no legal requirement, according to American law, on how long it has to age in oak for it to be called whiskey.
So technically, you're a moonshine factory?
You could be. You could be. Technically, if you take a new make spirit off a still and put it in a new oak barrel
For 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes, and then bottle it, you could call that bourbon.
All right.
Now, no one's
I'm gonna guess that's not what you guys are about.
We're not doing that. So there's really 2 ways to grow a baby distillery when what you're making is something that has to be aged.
If I can guess from what little I've seen, it seems like you guys are making your own originals,
Right.
and it is in a barrel, and it's gonna take years to be out of a barrel. But in the meantime, you can create blends, which I guess is what already the big guys are already doing.
It's called
Jamesons
sourcing
or
whiskey.
whatever. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Now they're not sourcing, they're making their own.
Sure.
But what we can do is go to people like MGP, Midwestern Grain Products, which is probably the largest single source of non-made whiskey in the entire US. And we can buy a 2-year-old bourbon or a 1-year-old bourbon and bring that barrel here and sit on it for a Texas summer or something, right? Or blend it with other products, and we can bottle
Do enough
that.
to give it its own flavor profile and to add to its story.
So we're not just
Yeah.
releasing, MGP products.
Sure.
But there is some kind of environmental impact. That's one way.
Yeah.
That's what we started with. So while this building was under construction, we bought 12 barrels of MGP, which was small, but it's a big number for us.
Sure.
And the first 6 months we were open, we released 1 barrel at a time, which is roughly 200 bottles at a time. And we only sold it through the tasting room and only poured in the tasting room.
And so you guys are able to essentially play Willy Wonka, where it's like you decide your own flavor profile, the story you want to tell,
Yes,
what
exactly.
you want it to be evocative of.
Right, and so that was what we called our Eleanor, because our main goal was to make sure that all of our people knew where it came from. We weren't pretending we made it.
Yep.
They know what we did to it, and they know what we think about it.
Yep.
Now, we even had 1 barrel go horribly wrong, and we called it the Hail Mary. Like, what do we do with this? So they voted that we get a wine barrel, which we did, and we dump it into a wine barrel and finish it.
Just to see what happens.
Turns out it fixed it.
That's
So,
amazing!
yeah, now, in the meantime, our distiller, Deb, has been making whiskey, which our people voted on, and I'm going to show you.
Yeah. All right, so this is the distillery with lots of impressive looking equipment.
Yes, huge stills.
Wait, okay, so I want to find out why the Daleks created this. But
yes.
before I do, we learned a bit of the fundamentals of distilling, which is you need some kind of alcoholic-based brew, a beer essentially,
Right.
that you're going to distill the rocket sauce alcohol,
Yes.
that's what it's called. And then from that, it goes into barrels that create flavor profiles.
You need some way to do fractional distillation, separate water from alcohol.
Okay, now fractional, I assume, because I'm looking at this right now, means that there are different layers, different vessels, because we know that if you just run it through, there's, I forget, like the head, the tails, and the good part in
Right.
between that you go by taste.
Yes, and that's still true here too.
Okay, so what's
Right?
different about the
So,
multiple eyeballs?
This is called the hybrid still, which means the bottom is a pot-shaped still, but then it has a column attachment to it.
Okay.
Often you'll get one or the other, either just a pot with a little line arm piece, or just a column. This gives us the ability to do both things. So right now, all the plates are missing. So it looks like there's levels in there, but
Right.
it's just an open column of copper. Right now we're running this as a pot still because Deb is making single malt whiskey
Got it.
using 100% barley, half peated malt, which our people voted on.
So she is doing the thing where as it trickles out, she's tasting, and you're like,
Exactly.
ooh, it's bad, oh, it's getting good, save
She's
this part.
making all of what we call the cuts.
The cuts, that's
Right.
right, there you go.
Exactly.
Man, I should take your class again sometime.
I know, right? So then once that happens, this is a very small still. It's what, 26 gallon? Yes. Yeah. And so it takes her a whole week, and we fill 3 of these 5-gallon barrels.
How did you select these particular barrels? Do they have to be used before, or can they be the first time use?
These are first time use. We selected them because Balcones had them. And they're friends of ours, and they weren't using them anymore. They switched to full-size barrels.
The old
and
F
they're
word,
like,
free.
Hey, yeah, it wasn't free.
Okay.
But they had a whole pallet, and they're like, you guys want these? We're not using them. We're like, sure. So we've now filled almost all of that pallet of like, what, 50 or 60 barrels?
Am
Something
I
like that.
right on this in that American bourbon has to be made in new barrels?
It does.
But then those barrels get shipped overseas because Scotch has to be made in used barrels?
Not has to be, but often is.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, for us, we're making a malt whiskey right now.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't need to be new oak. Now, it would have to be whiskey distilled from a malt mash otherwise, but we are using new oak. These are all new oak 5-gallon barrels.
Okay.
So she's making it, she's dumping it into tanks. As she gets enough of a run, we proof it down to what we want it to be at when it goes in the barrel, and then she fills the barrels.
I'm gonna guess bit of time. These
Bit of
guys
time.
sitting
Now
there.
here's the good news. Smaller barrel in Texas heat means that the barrel impact hits the whiskey significantly faster.
The flavor profile infuses much quicker.
It doesn't cheat time.
Yeah.
Because there are chemical compositions that you can't cheat. They just take time.
Right.
But the barrel does have a disproportionate impact in a shorter amount of time.
So-
And because of that, we've got whiskey that's coming off, like, where is a good sample? I'm gonna step right over here really quick and come back. So we got whiskey coming off right here. This is a barrel sample. This is, what is that, 8 months?
Yeah, I think it was.
Wait, it spent 8 months
That is
in a
8
barrel,
that's
and
8
it's
months.
already got that level of color. And
Yeah.
may I?
Welcome to Texas.
Yeah, no, that's a distinct. I mean, that's not straight moonshine. That's
No.
definitely some Texas wood.
Butterscotch and wood and yeah. So that's the single malt right there.
How long from the moment you fill these up to the moment you're able to sell them in bottles?
We don't know yet. We haven't actually sold anything that we've made yet. The oldest barrel is 10 months and we love it, but we're not sure it's ready yet. The next round just hit 7 months and we love it, but we're not sure it's ready yet.
I'm hearing different parts of the puzzle. Puzzle 1 is find a tribe of passionate people who want you to call a quest. You've called a quest. Unfortunately, your quest involves some indeterminate amount of time
Yes.
of waiting for the drink to become
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
How does one, make money in between steps 1 and 3?
Let me show you our barrel house.
Okay, good.
Okay.
We're revealing the secrets of the underpants gnomes.
Yeah,
This
totally.
is the step 2.
Yeah. And here we go.
All right, so how much of this was created here and how much was acquired?
If it's in a small barrel, it was made here.
Okay. So the big
Not all
guys,
of it, but a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
If it's in a big barrel, we probably sourced it. Now there are a couple of exceptions to that. When Deb first started making stuff, the very first thing we did was fill that barrel back there in the back. And that's a used bourbon barrel. That's full of our own malt. It's been there for almost a year now.
So it's only going to get more rare and more precious year after
as
year.
it keeps evaporating.
Wow.
Now, a big chunk of these small barrels is stuff that Deb made. Another chunk of the small barrels is a couple of experiments we did. So we've been buying rye whiskey, bourbon, malt. We had some almost rum type stuff, and we sourced some whiskey from Scotland. Now, we can't call it Scotch, because it came out of
'Cause they'll beat-
Scotland.
they'll
in
beat you up,
In
yeah.
a tote. Yeah, they're not a fan of that. And so now it's called a product of Scotland, but it was new make. It was unaged. It was just right off the still when we got it.
Essentially, you're in a phase where you've got some product that is going to take years to become complete.
Yes.
But you have fans who are ready for something now. So you essentially play Willy Wonka. You play Soda Jerk. And,
Yes.
and basically you're like, okay, what do we think will go together? And what stories can we tell with the flavor profiles?
Exactly. Now, like right now, we've voted on things like one of the barrels was a bourbon that we dumped out of a bourbon barrel and put into a jerkum barrel, which is a Japanese plum. Jerkum is like made like cider, but with plums instead of apples, right?
Okay.
And we took that barrel and filled it with bourbon from MGP, and
This
then we
is
aged it a
brilliant.
little bit longer.
I suddenly realized everybody else has to just have these ideas and then risk them being terrible products.
Yeah.
You guys perpetually get to say,
Who
knows? You voted for it.
we have a label that we got approved recently that says you should not drink this whiskey. Yeah, because it's terrible.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because that's what we have in our back pocket. If something goes wrong, we're still gonna bottle it.
There is power in the fact that everybody who is behind you and supporting you knows that you're on a journey, and that not everything is gonna be perfect right out of the gates.
And they get to vote on all of these things. So they get to decide what we put in what barrels, how long it ages, if we blend it, what we blend it, if we bottle it, what proof do we put it at? For example, there's a recent, and I tell you what, do we have clean glasses in here, John? Yeah. We do. Do you want to get something out of a barrel?
I mean, if you insist. What am I having?
It just seems like it would be fun.
It does seem like a good way to end this
Do we want to try
episode.
something from MGP, or do we want to try something that we made?
I mean, it's got to be something you made.
Oh, I knew you would say that.
Sorry.
Here, hold this glass,
All right,
would
you got
you?
it, boss.
So here's the beauty of owning a whiskey distillery. We can just like test things.
I mean, for the record, we're cheating right now, right?
Oh,
We're
yeah.
supposed to wait till it's finished. We're sticking our fingers in the lasagna before it's done.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
10-month-old, 100% barley malt whiskey.
Okay.
50% peat smoked with
Okay.
peat from Ireland.
When should this be done? I guess you won't know until it tastes
When
good.
it tastes good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
Now,
doing
we think it
important
already
science.
tastes good.
Yeah.
But what we're using this barrel for is we pull a sample every month.
Yeah.
And we're going to do that until it's empty.
Okay.
And it gives us a grid for what happens.
Oh, meanwhile, you're making notes about
Meanwhile,
like this long, this
exactly.
type of wood. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so
Let's-
it's literally a science barrel.
Yeah, let's do science.
So we're going to leave that hammer right there and not fall off the rack.
This is exactly how I'd imagine a whiskey heist would look.
Oh, yeah. All right. That's our glass. We're going to split that one.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Because this is our test barrel. I don't want to just
All right, here we
burn
go.
through it. That's 10 months, if you can believe it.
No, it's already got, it is strong, and it's got that strong moonshine quality to it, but you can see it's not a nuanced flavor profile yet.
Yeah, well, so I agree. Cheers to you, sir.
Sriracha.
So you're still getting that, ooh, it got way more malt musty. It did. I'll leave this for you, John, but you can smell the barrel char in this now, too.
Barrel char is the thing you do to increase the surface area by actually using a flamethrower to burn.
And bring a layer of wood sugars to the surface. Ooh, this is smoky.
Smokier than I would expect.
Because it's half peated. So it's Scottish-style peated grain.
So when you say half peated,
We
you mean
burn peat moss and
You did that
infuse
here.
it into the grain. We did it at Andalusia, which is a distillery down south in Blanco.
Over by Blanco,
who's
yeah.
friends of ours.
Yeah.
And they have a peat shed where they smoke their own malt. And they did some malt for us.
This is great.
Right? And only 10 months old.
So when will you know it's right? What is not here that you wish was?
A layer of subtlety that shows up over time as the alcohol breaks down the chemical structure of the wood inside.
You can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. Like the upfront tastes like what I would expect, but then there's like an empty period that feels a little...
Yeah, about 2/3 of the way through, there's like a slight drop in the palate, in the mid palate.
Yeah.
And there's just some chemicals that don't show up without time. Now, the bummer about Texas is we may not get the time. Because what happens is while we're waiting on that to happen, the barrel impact is spiking. And it could be that the barrel char and the barrel wood note gets so strong that the subtlety we're waiting on can't keep up and we have to pull it out.
Wild.
But I will tell you that when our friends at Balcones in Waco won best malt whiskey in the world in England a while back, they did it with a 13-month-old whiskey.
What?
But it was under 2 years.
You guys are about to start entering like the Olympics of booze.
We're getting in there,
This is
but you can
amazing.
definitely tell that it's brash and young and aggressive, and it's everything that you find in a typical, these days, a Texas high heat whiskey.
Okay, if people are digging what you're up to, they want to join your tribe, I understand you have a waiting list on the Facebook group, but at the very least, everybody can go to youtube.com/whiskeytribe.
Yes, absolutely.
Give me do's and don'ts for newbies.
Wait, okay, so don't be an
Okay.
That's just basically.
Yeah.
The rule number one for our whole community is drink what you like to drink the way you like to drink it.
Yes.
That's it. And you can have an opinion. Opinions are welcome. Just don't shit on somebody else for their opinion.
I feel like to take us out, there's a toast we're supposed to say.
Well, now on the channel we always say, here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking. If you fight, may you fight for a friend, and if you steal, may you steal your lover's heart, and if you drink,
May you drink with us.
All right, Brian, we were sitting here about to do the Raycon ad.
We were about to.
And then you pulled out these out of your pocket.
Yes.
Because we said empty your dad pockets.
That's right.
And then you pulled out another pair.
That's right, man.
You have a problem.
I'm sorry, sometimes you just walk around and they're just swinging because you got double pairs. Look, when Raycons are that good, why would you? Question's not why do I have 2 sets of Raycons? Question is, why don't you?
Did you pull some magic thing? Is one of these mine? And you said, oh, here.
Oh, yeah,
behold.
sorry, are you scared? Are you threatened by the fact that they're beloved by such stars as Melissa Etheridge, Cardi B, Snoop Dogg, Ray J, and more?
What?
Yeah.
Tell me more, Brian.
Oh my God, they're the most fantastic wireless Bluetooth earbuds in the business. You get 6 hours plus, and then they recharge right there in the pod. I sleep in mine overnight. That's why I have 2 of them.
You have a sleeping pair and then a walking around pair?
Yes,
Is there
it's
like a third? There's a third pair, isn't there? These are the new E25s. They come in these nice little pill case. They have extra bass, longer battery life. I mean, I understand why you like them so much, but
Cardi B, Brandy, many other celebrities. I'm not alone. I'm not the weird one. You're the weird one for not loving them as much as I do.
it's not a contest.
I mean, it can be a contest. You know what? If the contest is get the most best high quality earbuds at the lowest price, then you know who loses? Everybody buying those overpriced piece of crap ones. Everybody who's winning are the people going to buyraycon.com/rogue if they can spell it right. That's R-O-G-U-E. Also R-A-Y-C-O-N. Yeah, just spell it. We have links. I don't know why we're always spelling them.
Just got to make sure, belts and suspenders, cover all your bases.
Yeah.
I have a confession. I have like 3 pair.
Yeah, wait. We're still talking about Raycons, right?
Oh my God.